Hey everybody, Jay and Nick. We have just gotten back from Arizona D-Bags at Inde Motorsports Ranch.
Yeah, and when we got there, the timing loop was not working at all. Now this happens every now and again. Roland Hahn and his wife Stephanie, our crack timing crew, one of the reasons why we like using them is when something like this goes wrong, they're super hands-on. They get out, they've got tape and they've got tools and crimpers and splicers, and we laid an entirely new loop on top of the track, and after all of that, we only lost about half an hour of racing time.
Now, one of our racers, Scott Man, who also runs NASA and he's a professional driving instructor, blah, 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 he's been after me to lead a driver's meeting for years. And finally I said, okay, it's a little race, Scott. You go ahead, you can lead this driver's meeting. Now, turns out he actually led a fabulous driver's meeting. The only problem was, then the team went out and did exactly all of the opposite things of what he said. But the meeting was really good.
Now, if you bring a cheaty BMW E46 to Lemons, you'd better have a good theme. And these guys did. These were the 27 Club Racers, which was based on all of the rock stars. Amy Winehouse, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Janis Joplin, that all died at the age of 27. They dressed up as these stars, and it was awesome.
You know what I was doing at 27? Showing up at Ross periodicals.
Yeah. You know what I was doing at 27?
No.
This.
Oh, bogus. Kind of hella sweet. I gotta say, it was Terrible T and the Pinto Bean Bandits. They dominated Class C in this thing. This is a terrible car, and it's run by Fish, so it's a terrible team. They did a great job.
Now, one of their arrive and drive guys was Jesse Cortez. He came from California. He gets there, and because it's Arizona, he was given change, and on the dollar bills it was stamped, "Build that wall." Sorry about that, Jesse Cortez. Now, Busted Nuts and Bolts Racing, this was one of these teams that emails me weeks before the race like, is this cage going to be okay? Right. And it obviously wasn't. The
clearly not.
Bars are like way away from the pillars because their welder just isn't that good.
Yeah, but you always hope for a miracle. You hope like, okay, well, these guys, they kind of were hopeless, but they're going to figure it out. They're going to show up. Everything's going to be great. It's going to be a redemption story. Yeah, not in this case. They showed up. They were every bit as hopeless as we thought. They did actually get the car out, though, and I think they took the checkered flag, which is way more than we thought they would.
I Got Screwed went to the West German push rodders in their Porsche 928. Now, the Porsche 928 did not have push rods, you may say. Well, this one does, because they put in a Chevy 350 thinking, oh, that'll make this very complicated car much simpler and more reliable.
How did that work out for them?
Well, it turns out the engine is but one of the 928's many overcomplicated problems, and these guys dealt with all that crap all weekend.
It was very sad.
They got screwed. Heroic fix went to Johan and the Nine Finger Drifters in their Toyota Corolla wagon. Now, this car had a nice, reliable Toyota 3TC engine.
3TC engine, no shit!
And they decided that they wanted more power, so they found a great deal on a Toyota 3SGE engine.
3SGE engine, no shit!
And actually, not only was it a 3SGE, but it was a 3SGE beams.
Breakthrough engine with advanced mechanism system.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And what it did was, it had so much power that it stripped all of the teeth out of their pinion, their ring and pinion, everything.
That was the advanced mechanism.
They spent hours upon hours of trying to put a differential back in this thing. They eventually did, which was heroic.
Judge's choice went to Slow Cure and their Mercedes Compressor C230, which they made into a cement truck. And here's how they did it.
Yeah, well, it had a beautiful rotating cement drum on the back, but unfortunately, the Power Window Motors bicycle sprocket drive for the cement mixer overheated early in the race and caught fire.
However, this so impressed Phil et al. That they gave it the judge's choice. Original trophy we gave to the Inde Motorsports Ranch members with the greatest car. Now, these guys usually bring 928s and stuff like that, fancy exotic sports cars. This guy brought his favorite car in the world, which is a turbocharged Ford Festiva race car. It was spectacular.
Yeah, well, he must have just been about that life. You know, the stivalife. You know, when you're really into modified Ford Festivas, you call them Stivas, you know, and then if you're on Instagram or social media, you got a hashtag stivalife, you know. Organizer's choice went to Team Totally Eclipsed by the Spank. And the reason they're called that is because according to them,
Yeah.
we keep giving Spank credit for stuff that they are actually doing,
Yeah.
which includes,
Such a low bar.
Yeah, it includes such things as using a wood adapter plate to bolt an SU carburetor to their Porsche 924.
Putting a Volvo diesel into a 924.
Exactly.
These are things Spank would do.
Yes.
Turns out he didn't do them.
Yeah, well, and since he didn't, you want to be recognized
That's right.
for your engineering brilliance.
That's exactly
so,
right.
These guys are totally responsible for their Volvo badged Volkswagen diesel swapped Porsche 924, which at one point had chrome wheels on it.
Yeah, which it was good enough to get the organizer's choice, so they should be proud. So there you go. I am delighted to say that the IOE went to Anton and his PV544 Volvo. I am particularly delighted because he has been trying to win this for a really long time, and he kept getting pipped. First, he wanted to have the first 544 in Lemons. He got pipped by these guys, I think, from Arizona with a blue 544.
The blue Swedes.
Yeah, they showed up first. Then they kept going at it together on the track, and Anton would just get spanked by these guys. Finally, he won a race with this car, and he beat the Blue Swedes.
Yeah, and one of his secrets to performance, Arizona Inde Motorsports Park has a very abrasive track surface.
Yeah.
So Anton,
Eats tires.
Yeah, and Anton came with some 1400 treadwear road stones.
Yeah.
And they used one set for the whole weekend, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And commenting on the performance of these tires, they said, you know, Roadstones should really have a slogan such as, Roadstone, it rides like a stone. And if you see sparks, you know it's a Roadstone.
Here's Lemons in a nutshell.
So the whole point, breakthrough engine with advanced mechanism system.
Breakthrough engine with advanced mechanism system. Breakthrough engine with advanced mechanism
That may
system.
take a couple of tries.
Breakthrough engine with advanced mechanism system.
Now, not only was it a 3S GE, but it was a 3S GE beams.
I've already forgotten. That's the answer.